All right, so you're building a data warehouse in Azure. Right out of the gate, you've got a huge decision to make. Which SQL engine are you going to use? And trust me, this choice has massive implications for performance, cost, and how well you can scale down the road. So let's break it down and make this decision a whole lot easier for you. Okay, so it really boils down to this. Are you going with Azure Synapse Analytics or the more traditional Azure SQL Database? Look, they're both incredibly powerful, top-tier services in Azure, but they are built for fundamentally different jobs. So in this explainer, we're going to walk through the key factors to help you figure out which one is the perfect fit for what you're trying to do. Before we get into the weeds, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. Think of Azure Synapse as this beast for massive scale analytics. It's designed to just chew through enormous data sets for really complex queries. Now, Azure SQL Database, that's your champion for what we call online transaction processing, or OLTP. Basically, it's a rock star at handling a ton of smaller, simultaneous transactions like you'd seen an e-commerce site. This one core difference, it's going to be key, so keep it in the back of your mind as we go. All right, section 1. First up, let's talk about the most important thing, your data. I mean, to choose the right engine, you've absolutely got to understand the fundamental nature of what you're actually working with. So let's start with the most basic question. What does your data actually look like? Are we talking about neat and tidy tables or something a little more chaotic? And maybe more importantly, how much of it do you have? And how much do you think you're going to have a year from now? So for a data warehouse, you're pretty much always dealing with either structured or semi-structured data. You know, things like tables, CSV files, maybe some JSON. Now, if you've got totally unstructured data, like images or audio files, neither of these SQL engines is the right home for that. That's really a job for a data lake. So for our conversation here, we're laser focused on data that can fit into some kind of schema. And here it is, our first really clear dividing line, data size. If you expect your data warehouse to stay under, say, 4 terabytes, Azure SQL Database is a fantastic and really cost-effective choice. But the second you think you're going to grow beyond that 4 TB mark, well, Azure Synapse pretty much becomes a necessity if you want to maintain performance at that kind of scale. So how in the world does Synapse handle all that massive data? Well, the secret sauce is its architecture, which we call massively parallel processing, or MPP. Instead of having one central brain doing all the work, it completely separates the compute from the storage. It spreads your data across 60 different storage nodes. So when you run a query, a control node just tells all the compute nodes to run it at the same time, in parallel, on their own little chunk of the data. And that is what makes it so incredibly fast for those huge analytical jobs. Now, Azure SQL Database uses a more traditional setup called symmetric multiprocessing, or SMP. In this world, you have a bunch of CPUs, but they're all accessing one single shared storage point. This is perfect for making sure transactions are consistent, like in a banking app, but you can probably imagine that one single storage point can become a major bottleneck when you're trying to run gigantic analytical queries. This architectural difference, it's everything. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about how your data actually behaves. Because it's not just about how much data you have, it's also about how it shows up and who needs to get their hands on it. The next big questions you've got to ask are all about timing and traffic. We're talking about cadence and concurrency. Is your data coming in one giant batch at the end of the day, or is it a constant trickle of new information? And on top of that, how many people are going to be trying to query this thing all at the same time? The answers here will point you in very, very different directions. You see, the loading patterns for each engine are totally different. Synapse is built for those massive but infrequent batch loads. I'm talking billions of rows at once using a super efficient create table as select statement. Azure SQL Database, though, it absolutely shines with frequent little micro batches. If you've got data coming in every few seconds, using a merge statement is way more efficient than trying to rebuild a whole table in Synapse just for a handful of new records. And now we need to talk about availability for your users. And honestly, this is a huge differentiator. Azure Synapse Analytics has a hard limit on how many queries can run at the same time. The absolute maximum is 128, but in reality, it's often much lower depending on your service tier. But Azure SQL Database, because it was born to handle transactional systems, can deal with a much, much higher level of concurrency. So if you've got a big team of analysts all hitting the database at once, you could find yourself running out of query slots in Synapse real fast. And really, this gets to the heart of the trade-off, doesn't it? Are you optimizing for the pure, unparalleled scale you need to crunch massive batches of data? Or do you need that superior concurrency to serve a high volume of simultaneous user queries and transactions? So far, we've pretty much been looking inside the database itself. But let's be real, a modern data warehouse doesn't exist in a vacuum. So now let's see how these engines actually plug into the rest of your data platform. Yeah, this is a critical question for any data architect. Integration. How easily does your chosen engine play with all the other essential tools in your toolbox, especially when it comes to getting data in and out? So the good news is that both of these engines integrate perfectly with Azure Data Factory. That's Azure's main tool for data movement and orchestration, so that's great. But when it comes to loading data from a data lake, Synapse has this powerful secret weapon up its sleeve called polybase. So what is polybase? Well, you can think of it as a direct, high-performance superhighway between Synapse and your data lake. It is by far the fastest way to ingest bulk data because it's a minimally logged operation, which means it skips a lot of the usual overhead and avoids a major bottleneck. And this amazing feature, it's unique to Synapse. For Azure SQL Database, the story's a bit different. To get data in from a data lake, you're typically going to use Azure Data Factory to handle that copy operation. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a really powerful and flexible way to do things, but it's just not the same as that super efficient bulk loading mechanism that polybase gives you at Synapse. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground here. We've looked at architecture, data patterns, concurrency, integration, all the big stuff. So now let's pull it all together into a final actionable framework that'll help you make your choice. Let's just boil it all down. You should choose Azure Synapse when your data size is over 4 terabytes, your loading pattern is big but infrequent, and your main priority is large-scale analytics over high user concurrency. On the other hand, you should go with Azure SQL Database when your data is under 4 terabytes, you've got lots of frequent micro-batch loads, and you absolutely need to support high concurrency for more transactional-style workloads. Now, I have to mention one important exception here that kind of blurs the lines: Azure SQL Database Hyperscale. This is a special tier that actually separates compute and storage, a lot like Synapse does, which allows it to scale all the way up to 100 terabytes and even beyond. The key difference, though, is that it still keeps the high concurrency of a traditional SQL database. It's an incredibly powerful option for those really large databases that still need to support a high volume of transactions. And options like Hyperscale just go to show you that these platforms are always evolving. So when you're making this choice, it is so important to think about the future. The whole world is moving away from the traditional data warehouse and towards a more flexible, modern data platform. Your engine choice has to support not just what you need today, but what your organization is going to need tomorrow. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial question you need to ask yourself. Is your architecture just built to churn out the reports that you run today? Or is it flexible enough to answer the questions that you haven't even thought of yet? Choosing the right engine is a foundational step toward building for that future. Answering that last question is really the key to a future-proof data strategy. Hopefully, this explainer has given you a much clearer framework for making the right call for your architecture. If it helped you out, do me a favor and hit that like button, and subscribe for more explainers that help you navigate complex decisions just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.